Hey folks, welcome back. It's Lucid, and we're picking back up our game here with Late Age Ctis. We are starting to go really out of control. We're really strong. Our army graph is going completely crazy. We've got Arco just really on the ropes right now. And I think the player has gotten to the point where they don't see any way out. So they haven't tried to sub or anything like that quite yet, I don't think. But yeah, I think they're kind of doing the bare minimum to script armies and put gems on them. They are replenishing gems, but they're not coming up with like fancy ideas, scripting stuff. Yeah. So we've got them on the ropes. Arithia is playing really well, and they're playing, I think, they're defending lots of provinces with like major commitment stacks. They've clearly been testing some things because they've got like really well scripted armies that are really set up to just completely annihilate my things. But last episode they also had like a kind of smaller medium army that died. So they're also starting to like, while they're playing really well, they're also like some of the things are starting to fray. Just the pressure we're putting on. And I believe we did manage to get one of our armies into there. So this is us taking the... I'll just show this. This is one of the last Calum forts. So it's here in Epernia. Okay, this is interesting. So we are trying to make a play. So this is... basically we're gonna try to summon horrors. There's not a big army in here, but there's a bunch of high astral mages. So we're gonna see if we can get horrors to... there's a few things that can happen. We can rout any mages. Any mages that rout here are gonna be in trouble. And then there's also a chance the horrors win this, because we've already got two big horrors here. Though I think one of them just got killed. They're really going to get incinerated. That's the real risk for them, is these archdevils. Yeah. If these archdevils weren't here, I think it would have gone a lot differently. And then there's a Doomtide. Now, the Doomtide horror is going to be resistant to incinerate, because it regens 50% of its health every turn. So... yeah. We managed to kill Cugle, though. Let's see if... I don't actually remember how that happens. But that's a big deal, because half the Master and Slave is half the Master and Slave. Oh yeah, Cugle runs. So interestingly, this guy wouldn't have died in Dominion 6. You no longer die if you run in a fort battle, but you win the fort fight. Which I think is an improvement. On one hand... Okay, let me qualify that. I think it is a more logical way for the game to work. And it's like a very frustrating, gimmicky mechanic when your guys just die from retreating in a fort battle. But you win the fort. So it's very frustrating. However, fort battles, I think, are overtuned in Dominion 6. I think there's too much siege, like wall strength. Or there's more. That would be fine in and of itself. There's more siege defenders, I think, too. So, I think... Anyway. And then... But... the walls prevent things like Hal from getting behind. You mages that retreat don't die. I don't know. I think fort battles are kind of more cancer in Dominion 6. And I think they were plenty cancer enough in Dominions 5. So anyway, enough about that. Importantly, we don't kill the golem, but we do kill... Nor the archdevils. But we do kill Cugle and then some of the supporting mages. This is going to make storming it a lot easier. But... we still are going to need some important things to storm it. Now, we are taking a pass here at... This is the Cavern fort with Arco's God. And sorry if you hear my dogs playing in the background there. Hungry, and they like to remind me in the morning that I need to feed them by wrestling. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. We do have mass flight, and we've been gym baiting this all the time, and they never know when we're really going to attack. So, we don't expect storm. So I think we're going to get everybody across the gate, as we can see here. But they have Fog Warriors, which is annoying. And they've got a few Tarts here, too, which I think are sick. I'm not sure which one it was. I remember there were some guys here that were just blowing my guys up. But we'll just watch. I should have done demonic cleansing here too. These devils are actually... basically, their demon troops in general are really good. And then with Fog Warriors, our guys really aren't killing. We're really just hanging around until they fatigue out. And I don't think Blood Vengeance pops Mist Form either, which is a little unfortunate. But I think it goes through it. Like, I think this guy... Yeah, this guy still has Mist Form, but he's having he's having large hits go through. Like, he gets Blood Vengeance, Pin, verse 23. So this one hit 5 points of damage, I think. Yeah, so I think he took 5 points of damage here, but it didn't get reduced to 1, like physical damage normally would, nor did it pop Mist Form, like magic damage typically would. So it's a kind of weird interaction. Somehow it feels like it makes sense. Like, I don't know, it just feels right. Like it's kind of working correctly. Like, I don't think I would be surprised if it popped Mist Form. But I don't know. In some ways, like, it's kind of... Okay, there's our first Master and Slave. Or Undead Mastery. I don't know. I don't know the... It would feel weird if the damage got reduced to 1. I think that would be, like, the kind of the worst thing for it. Because it doesn't... It's not physical. So it shouldn't... The damage shouldn't be reduced to 1. It would also feel, like, kind of overtuned if... it was popping Mist Form. I think this is a fine way for it to work, I guess is what I'm saying. We're kind of getting slaughtered, though. We really needed to do demonic cleansing because their demons are kind of ruining us. I think they have a lifelong protection, too, because there's kind of a lot of imps. And, we really needed... If we had killed these demons, I feel like the battle would be swinging. We also needed Rigor Mortis. Not Rigor Mortis. Lifelong Protection. The only... Oh, not Lifelong Protection. What am I talking about? Wailing Winds is what I was saying. That would be routing a fair number of their mages. But it looks like the tides are against us. I'm pretty sure we lose now. I mean, there's another Undead Mastery. Hopefully we kill some of these worms, but... it's starting to get late. It's round 19, round 20. Yeah, they're just crushing our stuff. Another Undead Mastery. Yeah. While we had Mass Flight and some of the things we needed from that perspective, I think we really needed Wailing Winds, and we needed Demonic Cleansing. I think those are the two things that would have swung this fight. Still a lot of stuff is running. Just because the fight's going really long and there's a lot of Blood Vengeance damage. But yeah, we end up losing. So this is really painful. If we look at the Butcher's Ledgers here, we killed a Fairy Queen, which is nice. I think this was the lady who was doing Fog Warriors and stuff. I think she had a fair amount of gear as well. We killed a Heliophagus. There was a Cur, 3 Liches, a Mound Fiend. 1 Mystic, 6 Orphic Mystics, a Sage, some Scouts, a Sybil, a Tart. Most of the Tarts survived, though. We killed a bunch of Vampire Lords. I think these guys are going to respawn this turn or next. They respawn super fast. So, yeah, they're going to respawn really quickly and pop their little head back out. And I think this actually is their home province, so I don't even think they have to move back here. I think they're just going to magically reappear. So that's fun. 6 Wraith Lords. So just a tremendous undead immortal force. You know, this is almost 20 immortal mages here. And then pretty much all their chaff died. So that's good. Did they keep any of our worms? They kept 16 of our worms. We, however, this was about as many worms as we put into a single army. It was 540 worms, and we lost 380 of them. We lost our tart. I think this was our army of Goldcaster, so that sucks. We lost a golem, so that sucks. And we lost a Cyclops Smith. I can't remember what the Cyclops Smith was doing. I think he was a thug. Yeah, so, we kept our Queen of Thunder. That's important. That's the thing we really can't afford to lose. And we kept most of our white mages and our Tomb King. So, all in all, I would actually classify this as a pretty big win for us. I would have much rather taken it. I think I would have probably rather... I just really needed Wailing Winds and Demonic Cleansing. So, I think I misplayed here. And if I could do it again, I would wait a turn or two to have it in order to storm. However, this was a very strategic win for us. We've got another replacement army right on top, ready to storm. And importantly, our mage losses, while they were significant, losing the Tart and the Golem, they were not devastating. We pretty much are going to have most of the commanders here we need. We've got the white mages, which are doing a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of spell casting. If they died, it would have been a big deal. They kept our Tomb King, who has gear on them. So really, there's just a lot of things that are going pretty well for us in this battle. We didn't lose too much. And losing the worms is not the big deal. It's losing our mages that's really tough. So this one is actually okay. And, as we've talked about a few times before, we can afford to do these high attrition trades very regularly. That's kind of a big portion of this build is taking fights like this. The thing we cannot do are the kind of fights where we got completely trounced, by Arithia. Those were not good. But this is fine. Patala taking a fort off Arco. And then us taking this Ctis fort. This is us pinging. This is us fighting. Okay. And we got 110, so we should have 55 going to Ulm. Yep. Make sure I didn't screw him over accidentally somehow. Not that there's anything that can be done about it at this point, but yeah, it looks like the Nexus gem income is kind of dying down. And if some of you guys have been watching my single player games, we're going to be having Nexus go up in one of them. It's actually, I won't say which one, but suffice it to say, we get way, way, way more gem income from Nexus in those games than we do here. So, but yeah, so we've popped Arco, so we're going to be trying to storm the cap. Now, we don't have a tremendous amount of stuff here. That's just kind of how it is. We are going to be moving in some replacement armies here as well. Where are these guys? Yeah, so these guys are coming over this way. We're basically just kind of funneling things over this way. But I'm kind of expecting this army might die. But there's also a very good chance it lives. We have a lot of the stuff to make a fort storming potentially work without really fancy counterplay by Arco. Rigor Mortis and then Quickening is going to go a long way with Rush of Strength and Army of Gold and then Divine Blessing. We've got a fair amount of Quickening casting. So there's a very good chance I think this could work. But there's also a chance it could fail. If it fails, I think it's going to be a Pyrrhic victory for Arco. And at this point, Arco's about out of the number of Pyrrhic victories they can take and keep on chugging. So, yeah, this army here on top of this fort, this is where they just had a Pyrrhic victory. We're going to be moving in with a ton of stuff to go seal the deal here. We've got, we're going to be doing, this guy doing Fields of Dead. We got Rigor Mortis. We've got Anti-Magic. We've got, I think we are potentially going to cast some air things with her too. Not sure what. We've got a Wailing Winds caster. Here's an air-empowered Lich finally showing up. Very late to the party. This is probably going to be a Rush of Strength caster. We're going to have a small Astral Communion with some of our sages to pick off some of these guys. We're going to have Thuella. We're going to have this guy just... I'm not actually sure how we're going to use him, but it's a High Earth Mage. Another Rush of Strength caster. Maybe that other guy was going to do Rain of Blood. Yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff coming in. This is, at this point, I'm not really worried about it. While the army inside is still formidable, in a way, especially with all the immortals, I think we'll probably kill them. I think we've done too much damage to them for them to survive. Importantly, the real things to look at, the devils are alive. Are the Fiends of Darkness alive? Yeah, okay. The devils and the Fiends of Darkness are a bit of a problem. How much did they kill? Who killed the most stuff? The Tart, the vampires, the Wraith Lords killed a lot. The devils killed a lot too. Yeah, these guys killed 50. The Great Eagles killed a lot as well. And a good number of them are dead. Yeah, I'm not sure. So, yeah, anyway, we're basically winding up to punch that again. We're going to storm this as well, so that's going to be exciting. There's not too much inside. We got to take a little peek here, and we routed a bunch of it. Sadly, we don't have a Wailing Winds caster in this, but I think that's okay. I expect to win this fight. And we've also got another army moving over here on top of this Arco fort, so that will be quite nice for us to get. In terms of the Arthian front, I think I had an... So this army has taken this last fort from Calum. The Arthian army had been here the turn prior, but it backed up, which I'm not quite sure why. I don't know why they would move from here to here. I had no army which could move here. So this is a very strange move. It's possible they want to be in position to block me off from moving past them, which, by the way, this is exactly how I'm thinking, right? So this actually, in some ways, is a good move because it's like, I don't want this army to go fight their main army, which would kill me. I want this army to, like, I don't know, figure out some way to get in their backlines and take shit for free. So we've also moved this army here. So it's probably going to pull this army back towards the throne, which would actually open up this army to move here. So I think we're patrolling here this turn, but what an interesting move would be doing a dance move like this, where this army goes here, and then have this army go here, and then now all of a sudden I'm in the Arthian backline. I wouldn't move here except if I thought this army was going to go back south, but I'm pretty sure they could. Now, Arithia could play mind games with me, because they could be like, okay, you think I'm going to move here because you're threatening it with this, but you know that if I move here, I'll kill you. So I'm not going to move there. I'm going to move here, which you don't think I'm going to do. Yeah, so it could be one of those type of games, but we'll just have to see. On the other Arithian front, we have successfully managed to get in their backline. So this army is now totally, cowboying around deep in the back lines. There's no Arithian army here. They concentrated here in this throne. I'm not sure what they were doing, but they did it. We're also starting to get ready. You can see we're moving stuff over here to the Ulmish border. I think Ulm might have ticked down their nap. I can't remember. They might want to wait a few more turns too. We're gonna stop the sickle farm too whenever Ulm starts ticking down their nap. Or I don't know. But yeah, we're very clearly moving troops towards the Ulmish border. Which is kind of weird, because I was thinking we wanted to put another army together to kind of checkmate Arithia over here, but it doesn't look like that's our thinking. But the other thing I kind of want to emphasize here is a big portion of this is logistics. Like, we have semi-centralized production. I've tried to split up the all of the reanimators into different provinces so they couldn't be nuked by flames from the sky or something or whatever. So I've split them up, but they're mostly still in this region. There's a few over here in Bogarus and stuff, but not many. And I might have even tried to move some over here as well. But it's mostly centralized production. And that means we have pretty long, spindly logistics networks to get things where they need to be. And we have to plan several turns ahead with that too, right? Because it's going to take, 8 turns to reinforce this region. So we've got, I'll just show you, like we've got, well, there's actually a fair amount in the garrison this turn, but we're normally trying, and I don't see it now. Hey, whoops. We're normally, so maybe we didn't do it this turn, but most turns we're trying to put all the tomb worms we produce on some commander that can carry them and move them off towards one of the peripheral parts of our empire. No point making all these guys if they're just going to sit here in the center. Yeah, like here's like an example squad. So we put them on these guys, which could be reanimating, but they're wandering around. And yeah, we're just trying to kind of bring them this way to reinforce. I'm not sure where they're in. It looks like they're headed actually up here towards this corner. But yeah, we're basically putting together little trains of serpents to get them to the fronts. Let's go ahead and look at the next turn, 89. All right. So this turn 89, and lots of very expensive spells getting cast. Like Wizard Tower going up, and that's like a 40 gem spell. Curse of Blood, that's a ton of Blood Slaves. Tartarian Gate, Streams of Hades, these are like 40 gems apiece. Infernal Tempest, that's pretty nice. Yeah, more Tomb Kings, those are always good. Like we cast that twice. Did we cast it just twice, or maybe we might have even cast that 3 times? I think twice. But yeah, between Tomb Kings and I don't think we cast Twiceborn many times, but yeah, between Tomb Kings and Twiceborn is where most our death gems are going. That's kind of cool. Arco attacking us in the magic phase. Not sure what the target was. Oh, this is kind of cool. Wavebreaker, and then Armor of Knights, Dragon Helmet. Yeah. I don't think we have anything here, though. So this is like way overpriced for whatever job this is, but I also am not sure how he's going to... where else he would deploy it, because I think Worms would probably kill this. Certainly with Banefire support. Okay, and then for the normal phase attacks, you can see there's not actually that many this turn, so we might be able to get through these pretty quickly. Pinging this from Arco. I'm actually kind of interested. This might be a Wind of Death thing. Yeah, this is Wind of Death. So he's kind of attritioning this army down rather than trying to win in a single go. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. And then down here, boom. Okay, so this is the storming of this. This is the most important province in the whole game right here. This is the Alt 20 site. And then that was the big golem. So now he's now dead. He got hit by Disintegrate at the end. So what did we lose? We lost a Sarumancer and then a few worms. And then from Nexus, we pulled in 152 pearls. Not bad. Okay, so this is really, really important. I don't know... Did we have anybody empower? Okay, so this guy's been empowering himself in Astral. This guy's now Astral 4. He's done it twice. He's going to be doing it again, and then we're probably going to be teleporting him to this throne to start doing wish casting. Arithia is starting to muster an army here. There's 140 guys here, 130 guys here. So they're probably going to come fight us here. I probably should have put a gym bait here, but we don't. We're also twice-borning this guy in a fort we may not end up holding, so that's also not really smart. This fort's under siege. We're going to be reinforcing that with this army, and then this army is going to be riding south. Arco we just pinged their cap to see what's inside, and it's kind of a lot of mages, actually. It's 22 Sibyls, 47 Orphic Mystics, and 22 Mystics. So I'm actually glad we're going to have to... Are we storming this? Oh, God. We are fiends. Like, how are we going to win this? I guess they can blow themselves up. We need Wailing Winds. I don't know. That's all I know. We need Wailing Winds. This is a strong army, but damn. I have a feeling it's going to lose, but we'll see. We're going to storm this again. We've built back up this army, and so we'll be going after... I'll go ahead and pull up the next turn. There's not too much to talk about here. All right, here's the next one. More wish casting. Oh, we claimed that Throne of Knowledge there, so that's nice. This guy's empowered himself in blood. All right, we're trying to get Storm Demons going. That's one of the ways I want to spend some of the blood economy I've got. It just adds kind of like a nice little threat vector to my armies, and helps pop like Mist Form and stuff. Without, it's like Storm Demons can sit behind my worms and pop Mist Form and things like that, and do damage too. Whereas things like Fiends of Darkness have to like actually engage and get chopped up. So that's one thing we're trying to do. A bunch of raiding from Arithia, and we're gonna have some fun fort battles. I actually kind of want to start with them. So this is us going after the province that's now been beaten down pretty severely, but it's got Arco's God inside and some other things, some other tarts. Okay, and we're overwhelming them already. And they don't have air, so they're not able to do Mist Form, like Army of our Fog Warriors. So that's a big win for us. That Fog Warriors is really good against this particular build we have. And yeah, they're getting all... It's not even close this time. Fog Warriors made such a huge difference that previous fight. Such a huge difference. So yeah, we lose 47 Tomb Worms, but not much else, and then get a ton of gear. So that's huge. And then we have a battle here at Arco, and there's 100 mages here. So this is a tremendous mage core. But we've got Rigor Mortis up. So yeah, actually that's a good point. Like with Rigor, I don't know how they win. Like they'd have to do a tremendous amount of summoning. Because like what's going to happen is, so it's round 13, Rigor Mortis is starting to set in, and yeah, people are just going to fall asleep, and then the 100 mages aren't worth that much, so yeah, don't need Wailing Winds. And so with that, basically Arco's out of the game. We've taken this fort. These were their two last bastions of real strength. And we have taken this as well. So Arithia also attacked here from the ocean, and they attacked here with a small little squad. And I think they have armies here as well. So they're going to combine armies here, presumably whatever was here and here. And then they've got this fort pinned in. And we're going to try to free it with just a Lamashta summoner. I think this guy's got Twiceborn, so we're kind of looking to get him offed. But and then this guy's kind of a similar thing. We're going to summon Lamashtas here, see if we can get them off. But, oh no, the army's on top. It's a 300-person army. So this must have been a Magic Phase attack. Yeah, so this was a Magic Phase Air Elemental attack, which you can tell just by looking at this. But I'll pull it up so you get to see the Air Elementals. Yeah. So that's that, and then we put this. So this actually is wild. We haven't. Maybe we skipped over this last turn, but I think Arithia moved this army here to here, and then they positioned up this way. They actually went on top of this fort. The problem is they don't really have enough stuff. There's only 230 guys, so it's going to take them forever to siege through this, and we've got a literal, like, a pile of worms inside. So we've got 480 siege defense. They literally can't break through this fort. And meanwhile, we've put this under siege. And they're probably going to come south and then fight us off that. So we don't We could try to storm it here. That's probably the right move, but he could magic face stuff inside. I just feel like this is a weak army. What I really want to do is get this army in their back lines. So we're going to actually move it over here and see if we can't just be less predictable and run around. Now, this may have been a mistake. I think this throne actually is undefended, but he could gateway an army in, or I don't know. I just am not really confident in my ability to take this. So, but if I was, I should take it because, you know, I could get Windmasters, which would be really cool. There's a Banefire Brazier here, great sights. And then, of course, it's one of the thrones, which we're going to need to win. But yeah, we're just continuing to ramp up the pressure here. But this really is the episode, I think, that we're going to see Arco pass away. It's kind of over. Let's scan through the battles here, make sure we didn't miss anything. Oh, we were going to miss this. So this is Ulm riding out. And it's really important for us to see just because this is going to be our next major war. So he's got a bunch of these Ghoul Guardians. He's got a bunch of Demon Knights, a tremendous number of Fiends of Darkness, and a ton of Storm Demons. The main problem that Ulm's going to face with an army composition like this against us is we're going to do Demonic Cleansing. And Demonic Cleansing is going to just ruin this army. The nice thing about demons is they tend to have pretty good magic resistance. So, and then Ulm's always going to have anti-magic up. Yeah, he just crushes these guys. Let's look at this again. Look at some of the buff, because I think this came a lot down to the buffs. Pillar of Fire coming out from Arco. I think there's a lot of weapons of sharpness getting cast. Yeah, probably like... I think like a third of the guys have weapons of sharpness on them. And then they've all got Rush of Strength. Do they have quickness or anything? I don't think there's... Oh, it looks like there was some quickening casting. Could have been... Could have been some of these people who land first. No? But yeah, I mean, these guys are so tough. They've got Mass Regen on them. They've got all the resistances. They've got Fog Warriors and Luck and Weapons of Sharpness. Darkness is up. They're just very thick. Stats aren't showing great here because he's crippled, but... There's a different one. Yeah. I mean, these guys are disgusting. And I was like, what? Because they literally are evaporating this Arco army. They're so good. And I think he's done... Well, no, he didn't do Army of Gold. Okay, that's the other reason they're evaporating. But yeah, he just destroyed this. I'm not sure what Arco had. It's possible that the Flyers killed people, like they were going to do like Summon Earth Power, Army of Gold, and they got killed by the time they did Summon Earth Power. So that important spells didn't go off. It's also possible that because he hit this army before with the Wind of Death caster, I think, that they just didn't cast. Like, they were out of gems and he didn't restock. Because, you know, Arco, I think, is they're kind of done. I think we saw this one. Yeah, this was the fight with the god. And then we saw this one. So, yeah, I think that's it. I think we're going to end the episode here. This basically is the end of the war with Arco. What we're going to shift our focus on now is towards making as much progress against Arithia as we can before the war with Ulm starts. So that's going to be much higher mage commitment now against the Arithian armies. It's going to be bigger mage support in terms of like the items and gear we're putting on them, like having the big high path casters coming, having Wailing Winds and stuff. So our armies are hopefully going to have a lot higher threat vectors. And like we're also going to be taking a fight here. So like there's a big army here. We're going to be taking a fight. This army is going to be moving back into this theater here. So yeah, basically the idea is we're going to be trying to just pressure Arithia in every way we can and try to really... maybe force him to take some fights they don't want to and things like that. All before Ulm enters the war, which is not going to be terribly long. I think it might be as many as 5 turns away. It might be, it could be like maybe 7. but 7 would be the absolute max. I think it happens in like 5 turns is when maybe blows start going, so maybe it's like 2 turns for the nap to end. But it also could be shorter. I can't quite remember. But basically, Arco's dead now, so that's going to be the trigger essentially for Ulm to start going to war with me. So I think Ulm is going to want to maybe finish some of these sieges. Like there's a fort here that has to finish sieging, but you can see the raiding war for him is also over. So I think it's pretty much imminent now. And with that, I'll leave you, and hope you've enjoyed this game. It was certainly fun for me to play, and looking forward to showing you the rest of it. Until then, take care.